Everybody, it's Annette coming today with a safety video. I've been wanting to do this for some time. What brought this whole thought process on was we have, like everybody else on Facebook, the community, different groups and stuff like that. One particular community that I live near had a post with somebody saying, I want to exercise, get more exercise, but I'm afraid to go on the rail trail. And I don't know how popular those are everywhere else. We have one really long rail trail, and then another one that is, I think they've built it up to about a mile and a half now in one other county nearby. So it's basically where trains used to go. They're no longer going down those paths. So they're turning those into walking trails, paving them over, adding places to sit, places to get bags for your dogs, to use the bathroom, pick up their bathroom stuff, and benches and stuff like that. It's really nice recreation. Well, one of them, the very long one that crosses, I don't know how long it is, but it crosses a very wide area. So sometimes there are, while it's family oriented and everything, sometimes not so nice people are on the trails. Not necessarily people who are trying to assault you physically, but you don't know. Let me just get to the meat of the matter. There's a drug problem. So sometimes these people may be mentally unstable. There have been people approached in a threatening manner. Some people have been asked for stuff, and maybe not even asked, told to give them some stuff. So there is some escalation that I've been hearing about. I'm going to go through just some basic running things or walking, just recreation things outside. And then we'll talk as we get more into the safety thing. Number one, if you go on a long trail like that, it's good to go with a friend, but not everybody is able to do that. So how can you keep yourself safe walking or running alone? For me, we have a road in our neighborhood. We're rural, and the road that a lot of the neighbors walk on is not heavily trafficked. So we're able to walk relatively safe, but we want to be proactive because there are cars that come by. You don't know who's going to come down the road. It may not be a neighbor. It may be somebody passing through you don't know. We also have animals that occasionally come through. We do have wildlife. So one of the things that I want to emphasize as far as just the basics, okay? Just the basics for running. We have the yoga pants now that have the cell phone pockets in them. Also, these that you can put on your arm, put your phone in if you want to. I do wear headsets, not the big bulky ones, earbuds, with the cord because the little Bluetooth ones would fall out when you're kind of bouncing around. At least the ones that I've tried on, I don't know if it got weird ears or what, but like if they go around my ear, I'm good. Or if they're earbuds, I'm good. If they're just the little bitty ones that you pop in the ear, somebody's going to go flying down the road. So this is what I use for that. The phone with the earbuds. Now, I'm going to say one thing about the earbuds, guys. Don't have it so loud you can't hear anything else. Keep it at a volume where you're aware of the traffic, especially what you can't see coming behind you. You're going to be walking left, facing traffic. So you're going to watch the cars coming this way. You've got the advantage of seeing cars, people, or whatever coming this way. other walkers. Oh God, it sounds like, ugh. Yeah, I don't want to say walkers. Other people walking. It sounds too zombie when I say walkers. You're going to have that advantage of seeing it and kind of watching for them, because people get distracted. People will get on their phone. People will kind of go off. So I do give them, even though they're giving me a wide berth, I'm giving one as well, because I know how it is with people. The thing is that you want to have that availability to hear, the ability to hear what you're not seeing that's coming behind you. Cars, you want to be aware of that. Kind of glance, are they coming into your lane? A true story, this really happened. I was walking, and again, keeping aware of everything, waving at all the people who are coming this direction, making way for me, because hey, those are the people who are not running me over. Waving, I see you, hope you see me. So one day I was walking and I heard a car coming behind me, and that's not unusual. What was unusual was I could hear that it was slowing down. So keeping an eye on it with my peripheral vision, saw that it was slowing to a stop. So I just turned, kind of like at an angle, to make eye contact. Guy rolls down his window and asks if I was okay, if I needed a ride, because he thought my car had broken down. Now, he may have been a good Samaritan, but I don't know. But the thing that he clocked is, when I did turn around, I could tell he clocked my wristband that had the pepper spray on it. I had the band around my waist that I'm going to show you in a minute. And I made the eye contact, let him know, stood in a confident pose, let him know that I saw him, and said, "Can I help you?" Because you can't look weak or afraid. You have to look confident. That's another thing. You're using your body and your voice to project the confidence, because you don't want to look like an easy target, because you don't know what's in another person's heart or mind. So he said that he thought I had broken down. He was just checking to see if I was okay. And then he drove on. Yes, I stayed hyper vigilant after that, but I did not see him again after that. What was odd is that, number one, there was no car broken down anywhere near me. Number two, I was in athletic wear. So again, maybe he was being nice, but we have to be careful, people. So it does happen. You're going to have people. Now, let's talk about another basic. Basic around my waist, that I had. I got this at a yard sale, guys, and it says curves. I put my water bottle in here. I don't even think they have curves anymore. I believe that was physical fitness for people who had restricted mobility, and the machines help do the work, if I'm not mistaken. I found this at a yard sale. It's adjustable in the waist. I'm sure there's a gazillion more like it, with the same concept, where you can carry your 20-ounce water bottle. You've got this little pocket here that you can put car key in if you're driving somewhere to go walk, or whatever you need to put in here. It's small, but it's functional. Also, in this pocket, I do carry a knife, because, again, you don't know what you're going to face out there. The thing that I want to emphasize, number one, stay hydrated. Number two, situational awareness. Don't get those earbuds in so loud you can't hear. And you want to create distance. You want people to see you too. So if you are running, especially when it gets so hot during the day, so you're choosing to run at night or as the sun's going down, and it's that tricky little time of the day where you're you got some sun, but not a lot of sun. You got more shade. You want people to see you. So this is something that you can use and put it on the back of your shoes. It just clips on the back of your sneaker, left or right, and you can get one for each sneaker if you want to. Battery, I'll tell you in advance, is low on this, but it does have a reflector right here. And then when it's at full capacity, there is a light here that drivers and other people can see. So that's one thing. And it does its little blinky thing too. I keep it on blinky when I have it on my shoes because it seems like people are more aware of a blinking. These little things, whether it's your glow sticks, your little bracelets that come on, anything that reflects as it's getting dark. Wear this around my wrist that I can't get on right now, but anyway, yeah. So people are going to see you more. You want to be visible. You also want to be careful because, again, as it gets into fall here and deer go into rutting season, you don't know what you're going to find. And the does are not aggressive. The males will get aggressive if you advance on their territory. We've got foxes. Not too worried about those unless there's one that's rabid. Skunks, not too worried about those. They stay their distance. I stay mine. Don't want to surprise them. But with hurricanes and floods and fires that have happened in the past 5 years, we have seen more wildlife come into this area because they're being displaced. So there have been coyotes that eventually occasionally pass through, and people will hear them and report where they are. We do have some that just stay in some of the more rural areas. I got hungry kittens, so excuse me. So you don't know if you're going to run into a human who may have ill intent or an animal doing what an animal does. So for that, the visibility is not going to be affected on an animal. That's to stay safe for people to see you. So we're going to go into more of the now we're dealing with a threat, a potential threat. What got this conversation started was that I mentioned the things that I actually carry on me to the person who asked the question on the board. Well, being in North Carolina, everybody's first response was carry, 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 carry. Okay, that's good advice. However, you don't want it to be, sorry, something just popped up on my screen. You don't want that to be your only thing. Yeah, if you want to carry and you know what you are doing and you have a concealed carry license and you have practiced with your concealed carry item, then yes, by all means, if you want to, you can. And I'm going to show you something that you can wear that won't restrict you while you're working out. But that's not the first thing you want to go through. That's not the one and only deterrent that you want, because you've got to think about it. If you pull it out and then you decide to pull the trigger on that, when you get questioned by the police and they see that's the only thing you carry, at least in North Carolina, I can assure you they're going to ask, you intended to do that because you had no other alternatives. Even police, with this very, very small window of time, and I can tell you, when you're having to make a decision to protect yourself, I've heard over and over again, you have got 1.5 to 3 seconds. That's why you got to have a plan of what you're going to do as your primary, your secondary, and then I got to do this. And sometimes it's in no order. It depends what kind of threat you're facing. So that being said, I encourage people to take pepper spray as the first thing. This will go on your wrist. My son got this for me. Anytime I walk or run, it is on my wrist. Okay? It's on my wrist where I can get to it. It's also on my wrist where people can see it. Pepper spray hurts. Do they want to take that risk? I make myself automatically, by making this visible and wearing this, and I don't have it tied all the way, I make myself not as desirable of a target. And in that little pocket, and that's what the guy clocked when he pulled up next to me. He saw that on my wrist. I could tell because I saw where his eyes went. The other thing that I carry in the little pocket of my belt, my back belt thing, and the label is worn off on this, but I can tell you it's been tested. You got to test these regularly to see if they still spray. This is long range gel pepper spray. This gives you about a 30-foot advantage. You're creating space. You're also creating less risk with the gel pepper spray of this blowing back in your face as much. And then you're in a hot mess too because you can't see. You want to spray, neutralize the threat, get the heck out. That's what you want. That is your goal. I highly, highly recommend this. This is in my purse when I'm walking alone. This is in my purse when I'm at church. I mean, because you got to think if you're spraying and it does have a straight shot, it has a good straight stream of long distance. You have created your distance. You've got a non-lethal deterrent to neutralize the threat until police get there if you have to call the police. Okay? The other things, the knife that I carry in my little belt thing, state by state, you're going to have to say what's legal to carry. It's have to be a certain length, fixed blade, whatever, I don't know. Look at your state's laws and see what you can legally carry because it also is a concealed weapon. This is the Tiger Lady claw thing. Goes around your wrist. Just have it on your wrist while you're walking or whatever. You don't have to hold on to it. Just have it on your wrist. Make sure it's not going to fall off. It's got, I don't know if you can even see it. Let me push it this way. That's going to damage somebody. Now, the thing I want to tell you with even this, and you're going to take off the side of somebody's face if you get into a physical confrontation with them, that this will cut into them. But the thing with this and the thing with a knife is that you're talking about close combat. You're pulling that out because you have no other alternative. They are on top of you and you don't have reaction time and you are just trying to create the distance. You're creating the distance by taking this thing, as much as it pains me to say this, and you doing what you have to do to get out of the way. So, held it upside down, but yeah, this is for when you have to. Everything's going to be different. How you get confronted, the decisions that you make, but whatever it is, try to have that plan in your mind. Try to carry these on your person and at least have, if nothing else, the pepper spray visible. That's such a great deterrent. Sometimes you're dealing with people who are mentally ill. They may be doped out, and you may need to dose them with some pepper spray. Now, for those who wish to carry, it can be done. It can be done while you work out. I call this your last resort. But if it's a life and death thing and somebody's coming at you, for example, with a machete or whatever, I mean, you've got to make some quick decisions. So this It's kind of like what they call the belly band holster. It's Velcro. It's adjustable. You holster in here, and then you clip this on to secure your weapon. So this would go under your clothes. I can assure you that once you put this on, it's thin. It goes under your clothes. It's specifically for working out and concealment. That's where you can put it. That's how you can carry. That, again, look up the laws in your state. Look up what would happen if you did this. Because in North Carolina, in order to use lethal force, I have to be able to show a jury of my peers and prove that I feared for my life. I did this, I had to do this because I feared for my life. So, and not everybody wants to carry, not everybody's comfortable with that. If you're not, don't do it. You are going to hurt yourself, hurt somebody else. If this is the path you want to go down, you get your concealed carry, you learn about the thing you're carrying, you practice with it. Practice holstering it, getting it out. Practice at the gun ranges. You have to know what you're doing. You have to be also of the mindset that if you do that, you are willing, if your life is in immediate, grave danger, to use it. So I've covered situational awareness. I've covered visibility. I've covered being a deterrent, pepper spray on the wrist. I've covered the escalating tools that you can use. I have carried every one of these at some point, depending on where I was walking, where I was running, at some point or another. But I'll tell you what, the pepper spray is always, always with me. The one on my wrist and the big one that's got the 30-foot range. So I hope this helps clarify and bring you some choices to look up and some homework to do when you're trying to assess what's going to be safe for you. I personally don't run. I've never been one of those. I don't see it happening. Run at 4 or 5 in the morning because it's cooler. I just don't, because I'm not a marathon runner. But you got to understand, some of these people who are marathon runners, men and women, they have to start that early because they are training for marathons. They're marathon runners. They're running more distance than I would ever imagine running. And they're needing to do it before the heat of the sun comes up. They're having to do it in accordance to the weather. So I don't want to hear about this woman wore a sports bra, this woman wore this. You shouldn't wear that when you're out. If you're a marathon runner, comfort is key. I will wear a tank top. Number one, I don't think anybody wants to see me in a sports bra. I'm a little, chunky monkey in the belly, even though I've lost some weight. But that's just my personal thing. I don't want to hear anybody. That was one of the things when we had the bad year, and it's been a few years ago, in different states, women were literally getting snatched off from their run, thrown in a van, and then taken and unalived. There were people in comments who would say, like, well, you shouldn't have been running in the dark. Shouldn't have been wearing that. That's horse crap. Okay? You can be visible. The other thing that can keep you visible is always your handy dandy headlamp And a lot of these people use that, or they use reflective wear. But don't blame the victim ever. But we're going to make ourselves visible. We're going to have our situational awareness, and we're going to have other alternatives to deadly force. And then if we need to go to the other end of that spectrum, that's up to you. I can't make that call for you. So, friends, stay healthy, stay fit, stay safe, and have fun out there. Don't let people with bad intentions or a run-in with wildlife affect your happiness and your physical fitness. Love y'all. Take care. Wrapping it up.